What is going on, Ghost Gang? So today is going to be the part 2 of, some drills that you can do on your own to improve yourself, right? So I got my bike out here today. It's beautiful. And today, part 2, what we're going to be doing is focusing on braking and emergency stops. Right? Now, this will definitely help anyone on the street. The first one we're going to go over is the progressive braking. All right? We're going to start light on the brakes and progressively increase pressure without sliding. All right? That's just the first part, right? The second part we're going to do is emergency stops, right? We're going to accelerate to like 30, 40 miles an hour, maybe even 50. And then we're going to brake as hard as we can without sliding the tires, and seeing, just how the bike reacts, how you react. And then the third one is going to be rear brake feathering, right? We're just going to get used to rear brake, right? This is going to help anyone, because if you put too much pressure on that rear brake, it's going to lock up. This is especially going to help if you like to do all those cool guy stuff like wheelies and stuff like that. Rear brake is essential. Don't mess around and do wheelies without your rear brake, because you're probably going to loop eventually. It might not be the first, second time, third time, fourth time, whatever. It will happen. And when it does happen, it's probably going to be on the streets when you're trying to impress someone. Right? And then after all that, the emergency stopping, the progressive braking, how we were trying not to lock up the rear tire, the final one is locking up the rear tire just for a split second, right? And seeing how the bike reacts. Every time you lock up the rear tire, right, we want to try and see how far out we can slide that rear tire. Now, if you're worried about your rear tire wear and things like that, maybe you don't want to do the last step, right? Because you don't want to wear out your tire too much from skidding it, things like that. If you don't care about that, you just want to progress, you want to get better control of your bike, then forget about it, man. Just make it happen, right? You can't get better if you're not trying new things, right? So let's go ahead. We're going to do the first part. Let's get on the bike and do the first part. And like I said, first part, all we're doing is progressive braking, right? My bike's already warm, so, and when you go out there, get your bike warm, get your tires warm, right? So, my bike is already warm. So, like I said, progressive braking, right? And you're gonna want to use the front and the rear. We're not just using the front, we're not just using the rear. Alright, 80% is with your front, 20% is with your rear, so you definitely want to use both. Now, if you want to just use the front or just use the rear, just so you can get a little better and see what those stopping points are for your bike, by all means, go ahead and do it. But right now, we're just gonna, right? Right? Front brake, rear brake. Front brake, rear brake. Alright, you see that? I skid on mine. Don't do that when you're first warming up, right? So that means I'm going a little too fast, or I need to press on I need to progressively get into it. Right? Alright. Just keep going. Just keep doing that. Second step, right? Second step. 30, 40 miles an hour. You can go faster if you want. But like I said, you're trying not to lock up the rear brake at this point. Which obviously I already failed, so. right? That was alright. Had a little skid, nothing crazy, right? Let's go ahead and do that again. And just like in the last video, if you haven't watched the last video, you want to do these approximately 5 to 10 times each, right? So that first one, progressive braking, right? You want to go ahead and do about 5 to 10 of those, right? Before you even start with the emergency braking. Right, 5 to 10. Now, emergency braking. If you got enough room, pop it in second gear. Right? See your distance, right? If you want to make it a game, measure out your distances that you travel every time you do some emergency braking. Right? Now, there's only a limit, obviously, to what your bike can do, but it'd be good to figure out what it can do, right? Right? Now the next time, same speed. Press it a little harder. Alright, third one. And like I said, same thing. You'll just do it 5 to 10 times each. And then go to the next one. Next one was just rear feathering, right? So we're just cruising, right? We're just feathering it, right? We're seeing how that rear brake reacts, right? And you could obviously do this with the front too, right? You could feather the front brake, right? You can jab it at a slow speed. Don't go fast when you jab the front. Jab the front, you know, slow speed, see what it does. You know, if you do jab the front brake at a higher speed, be ready for the rear to come up and you do a little stoppy. All right, but like that, see? That was all front brake. Let's do another one. All front brake. Right? You do the same thing with the rear. Work on your rear. Only rear. Try not to slide it out like that. That's the next step. And again, 5 to 10 times, practice that. Go to the next step. And next step, like I said, this is a little warning for you. If you don't want to wear out your tires too much, don't do this step. But I'd say do it once or twice here and there, just so you know how it feels when it does lock up. So when it does lock up on, you know, like, that just happened, right? You know what to expect. So, right? Keep it straight. You can slide it to the left if you want, right? Get to the feeling of sliding it to the left, right? Sliding it to the right. You know, that's all gonna help you be a better rider, because you're gonna know how to control it in those situations, right? And like I said, rear brake, that's just gonna help you, right? If you like to do wheelies like that, just, that's gonna help you. You pull it all the way back, you tap your rear brake, and it comes back down. All right. And that is going to conclude my second part. Now, like I said, if you want to go ahead, watch the first one, you know, and you'll get a little bit of understanding just on controlling it at low speeds, right? This one was all about braking, controlling your bike through braking. So go ahead, give me a like, give me a dislike, I don't care. Subscribe, that would be great. And check out for part 3. I've got about 4 more after this one, and we'll go over a couple more things. And if there's something that I didn't mention in the video, let me know, because maybe it'll be on the next one, or maybe it was in the first one that y'all didn't watch. But just let me know, and maybe I'll go on it on the next video. So But all right, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.